Hey, Austin here, and we're going to be doing a franchise starting today. We're going to be doing the 49ers because I was thinking about doing the Jets because they suck, and I kind of wanted a challenge, but I've already seen like 3 different people doing the Jets. I was going to do the Bills, but I think I'm going to wait on that. That may be coming at a future time, but I kind of like the 49ers because when I rebuild, I like to get a quarterback, and they do need a quarterback. Um, they have some decent young pieces: DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, Reuben Foster. They have a lot of young pieces on the defense. They just kind of need a little bit of help on the offensive end. They're not empty there. Like they have Carlos Hyde at running back. They have a couple decent veteran receivers. Their O line isn't good. They have a great fullback that makes up for anything. Vance McDonald he's a okay tight end. I don't know if he's really got a future here, but he'll be okay for at least the first year, I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously they have Solomon Thomas. That's the main piece, in my opinion, is going to be Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster, and DeForest Buckner. But they do have some pieces to build around, but it'll still be fairly challenging. I don't think it's going to necessarily be an easy rebuild. I don't know how I feel about Navarro Bowman at this point, because he's been very injury prone the last couple years. He's 29. I mean, he's a good player, but we may look to move him. I don't know. I wanna try and make this series somewhat realistic. I don't want to necessarily go trading for superstars, but young, talented players with upside. That's a different story. I'm willing to make trades like that. Build primarily through acquiring young talent and through the draft, trying to build this team kind of from the ground up, rather than just go and trade for, guys like Khalil Mack and, superstar wide receivers like fucking Odell and all that. We're not doing that. We're gonna try and keep it fairly tame when it comes to realism. The one position, like I said, that I do want to look to address is quarterback, because I mean, the only real young guy is CJ Beathard, and he like, his attributes actually don't look that bad. Like, I could probably work with them, but I'm just not sure that he's the guy that I want to necessarily build around at quarterback. Just a preference thing. I had a couple other guys in mind, but I'm gonna go look, see what I can do, make a couple trades, and I'll catch y'all in a minute. Okay, so I might have overpaid a little bit for this, but we're giving up Tank, a 3rd rounder for this year, and a 5th rounder for this year for Dede Westbrook, or Dede. I actually am not 100% sure how that's pronounced. I'm gonna call him Dede because I don't know, it's easier. And a 4th rounder for this year, so from the Jaguars. So Tank, he's in his late 20s. He's probably not going to play that much. We have Ronald Blair behind him. I think Ronald Blair will be fine as a backup. We have 2 3rd rounders, so I don't mind moving that back and turning it into a 4th rounder. And the 5th rounder, I really didn't want to give up another pick, but it's the only way I can make it work. And I really like Westbrook. I think he's been playing really, really well for the Jaguars in the preseason. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he kind of got overshadowed by a lot of the other wide receivers in this draft class. No shot at them. I think they're all great. But I think that he has the potential to be a really good player in the next year or two for us. So I really wanted to get a young, talented wide receiver, because some of the guys that we have are a little on the older end. So he'll definitely help to where we won't. That's one position I don't think we'll have to draft in this upcoming draft. Okay, so this trade I simply did to get a little bit of a draft capital back. Tim Hightower, he's in his 30s. He's a good player, but we got Joe Williams behind Carlos Hyde. I don't really think we need him. And I mean, this is a decent trade. We got a 4th rounder, and a 6th rounder for next year. I tried to get a 4th and a 5th for this year, but they didn't want to give it to me, so I just took a 6th for next year. I mean, it's nothing special. It's a decent trade. It'll help us for the future. Okay, this is a trade that I wanted to make plain and simple because I wanted to get another quarterback to compete for the starting quarterback spot, but I also wanted to get a pick. So I figured Chad Kelly is a solid quarterback. Don't know how he fell to the 7th round. I'm being completely honest with you. That is the most relevant Mr. Irrelevant ever. And we also got a 1st round pick for next year out of that. Elvis Dumerville is a great player. He's awesome. Like, no disrespect to Elvis Dumerville. He's a legend. But he's too old for a rebuilding team. We have a lot of players on defense that I think can be solid and fill in that role. Earl Mitchell, we have decent depth at defensive tackle. I don't really see a need for him. He's 29. I saw him as expendable in order to get the 1st round pick rather than settling for a 3rd or a 4th. I don't know. Another trade that I think is a solid trade. It's nothing special, nothing mind blowing, but it's definitely going to help us out in the future. Getting another young talent at quarterback and a 1st round pick, that's going to be huge. Okay, guys. So I did something that I'm not certain is final, but I think I'm moving Aaron Lynch back to outside linebacker. I know before, I'm pretty sure he was a right outside linebacker last year. At least in Madden he was. I'm going to move him to left outside linebacker. I don't know how much I like him, but I think I'm going to move on from Ahmed Brooks because he's 33. It's not like he's really any better than Aaron Lynch. I'd almost say Aaron Lynch, he's faster. I think he's got better zone. No, it's the same because I think they both have 71. So, I mean, I just think that kind of made sense. I think we'll be fine at defensive end. I think Ronald Blair again can play the backup spot there. I think that's just better for the team. I'll look to trade Ahmed Brooks. That might be the last trade we make in this episode. I just kind of wanted to get younger. This episode was really the goal. It wasn't even necessarily to get better. I just don't feel the need to have guys who are over 30 on the team unless they're incredible. The only one who could kind of classify as that is maybe Elvis Dumerville because he was an 86 overall. He's, a great player. But I'm gonna look to see about trading Brooks, and I will catch y'all in a minute. Okay, with this trade, I kind of settled a little bit. I was trying to get Carl Lawson and a pick, but they value young players a lot in this year's Madden. I'm noticing it's a lot harder to trade. But we got a 4th rounder for next year for Ahmed Brooks. He had a pretty big contract. I literally noticed just a minute ago when I was trading that it said he had a $9 million cap hit. That's not going to fly. I had to get rid of him because I was initially going to keep him if I couldn't get anything that I wanted. But I found this deal. The Bengals had green interest. They were interested in him. And I was able to snag a 4th rounder for next year, which isn't bad. So that's $9 million off the books and makes room for the younger guys to get some playing time. So I'm not mad at that. Okay, guys. So I know I said I was done making trades, but looking at our depth chart, we have 4 quarterbacks after trading for Chad Kelly. So in my mind, I have multiple. In my mind, it was between Brian Hoyer or Matt Barkley, whoever goes. And looking at them, Brian Hoyer has 90 throw power. His accuracy isn't great, but it's not horrible. They're both getting paid a considerable amount. It's not absurd, but it's enough that I'll feel it on the cap hit. The thing that made me decide that Matt Barkley is going to go is that he only has 86 throw power. That's not going to fly with me. I like my quarterbacks to have at least a decent arm strength. 86 is not enough for me. I will not be able to use Matt Barkley. So, Matt Barkley, I'm going to look to see if I can trade him, just to get him off the team. If not, if no one's interested, I will cut him. But I'm going to look, see if I can salvage anything out of this. If not, he's off the team anyways. I will cut him. Okay, this is the trade I'm going to be making. I think it's a decent trade. I wasn't looking to get too much out of Matt Barkley, but when I was looking at our tight ends, I noticed that they're not bad, but a lot of them are in their late 20s, and I don't know how much of a future they have on the team. So when I saw that the only team with green interest was, of course, the Jets, because their quarterback room might be the only one that looks worse than ours, I instantly had to go look at the young players, see if there was someone I could maybe snag. If not, settle for a pick. But when I saw Jordan Leggett, I figured that's a pretty fair trade. I mean, 73 overall quarterback with absolutely no arm strength for a 74 overall tight end who is only like, I think he's 20 or 21. He's maybe 22. He's really young, obviously being a rookie. He's the kind of tight end I think I could use. He has decent speed, good catching. He's the kind of guy that will get used in my system in the way that I like to play. So I think this is a good trade. It's more of a trade for me personally when I play rather than necessarily simulation, because I like to have a decent tight end, a couple decent tight ends, because I like to run a lot of dual tight end sets. Solomon Thomas, I kind of don't like Solomon Thomas at defensive tackle. Let me know in the comments, what do you think I should do when it comes to the defense? I'm sorry about that. That's some asshole on a motorcycle. What should I do when it comes to the defense? Because there's a lot of guys who I'm not sure where I want to play them necessarily. So, like, I'm kind of tempted to move Solomon Thomas to defensive end, because that's where I think I want to play him. But I'm not certain who I would want to play at defensive tackle, because I kind of want to keep DeForest Buckner at defensive end too. But I don't think Eric Armstead necessarily is a defensive tackle. Let me know in the comments. Who should I play at defensive tackle? Because I don't think it's going to be Solomon Thomas. I want him on the edge. He's got a really good man. Oh yeah, wasn't he a corner? I'm pretty sure he's normally a corner. Maybe I'll move him back there. Let me know. Should I move Jimmy Ward to cornerback? Cause I'm almost certain he was a corner last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know at least in terms of Madden, and I'm pretty sure in general he was a corner. So let me know on that one. That's another one I'm kind of interested to see what you guys think about that. Should I move him to corner or keep him at safety? Okay, guys, well, that's going to be it for this episode. This is the first episode. I just wanted to kind of get the team where I wanted it to be. Next episode, we're going to play the preseason games. I may do all the preseason games in one episode and chop it up. I'm going to record that immediately after this, so any feedback that you guys give me, just know the first couple episodes are going to be bulk recorded. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm very active. I love talking to the viewers. I'm very active in the comment section. But peace out, y'all.
Regrets collect like old friends, here to relive your darkest moments. I can see no way, and all of the good.